Hello, in this video we'll look at some of the jobs I did and some of the things that happened in September. I'm still taking home small harvests. Beans and tomatoes provide the bulk of the harvest now. I eat tomatoes every day, so I'm pleased that I haven't had to buy any for a long time. Well, this is the barrel that collects the rainwater at the moment, and it used to come into the barrel, but I wanted those two barrels that have got weeds in. I want some rainwater going in, so it was a case of either manually moving the water, or I've put a piece of guttering and diverting the water into these barrels now, so that I can make some weed tea. The one at the back needs a little bit more putting in to fill it up, and this one at the front has only got a bit in at the moment, but it will be filled up by the time I've done the rest of the allotment. I'll test this by pouring some water into the gutters to make sure it goes to the barrels. It's flowing nicely down the diverting gutters and dripping into the barrel. The barrel is partially filled, so it will be a while before it will be full. I could have siphoned the water from the water barrel, but I didn't have a short piece of hose available. I have found one autumn flowering raspberry in amongst all this lot. Most of them I assume are summer fruiting because there's nothing on them, and there was nothing much on them in the summer, so I've tied a marker around this one so I know which one it is when it comes to moving them, so I can separate the autumn fruiting ones from the summer fruiting ones. But this one seems to be the only one, so I'll have to propagate from this one. So I may leave it here and try and propagate it and then move it next year. So let's pick a few raspberries. I'm still getting a good crop of tomatoes middle of September, so that's good. I have salvaged some pieces of metal from aluminium greenhouses that were in the scrap metal pile, and I will try to build a brassica cage using some of these. A neighbouring plot holder was given away these two long tubs. They will be useful for plants such as mint that like to spread. I get laughed at when I pick some things from the scrap metal pile, such as this satellite dish. I have no use for the dish itself, but the metal bar can be useful, so I'll take it off. It doesn't take long to unscrew some bolts and pull the bar free. It's a nice straight piece of pipe, which ended up being put in a plant pot and used as a mobile monopod for my camera. This felt is completely waterproof, so it's not going to let anything go through, and nothing's going to come up through it. You can see where there are sort of dimples in the ground. It does hold the water quite well after it rains. I mean, everything else is dry, but you can see it's still holding water, so it's not going to let any weeds come through. So this is what I've got left to build the brassica cage. I've put together one, two, and three corner pieces. And then I've got to figure out the best way of using what I've got to fit the dimensions of the beds a few bits and pieces there that are still together, but I'll deal with that, see what I need out of that. As with any jigsaw puzzle, we start with the corner pieces. So it's going to be, the beds are 4 meters long, and the 2 beds plus the path in between is 3.5 meters wide. So I've measured the corner pieces, and then we'll try and figure out what bits go in where. So I've got to find a piece that's exactly 135 centimeters. So this edge is, well, I'll connect those up later once I've sure everything is bang on. So 163 plus 145 is 308. 350 minus 308 is 42. So let's go and find a piece that's 42 centimeters long. This side is 150, so 400 minus 150 is 250, so I need to find a piece that's 250 long, and this piece is 250 centimeters long, more or less. It's a couple of centimeters off, but I can live with that. I won't find the pieces to the exact measurements I want, so I'll just find the best ones, and this one's only a couple of centimeters out, so that'll do. And finally 350 minus 140 is 210, so I need to find a piece that's 210 centimeters long, and that will complete the bottom of the cage. Okay, so I've got the base of the brassica cage roughly put out, so I'll connect it together, and then I can start putting the uprights on, connect them to this. Right, it's time to put these pieces together. I bought 3 rolls of butterfly netting, 2 meters by 10 meters long. Right, well, the base is connected up, but unfortunately the weather forecast was saying it's going to be dry, but it started raining, so I'm going to sit in the shed for a bit, have a coffee, and see how it pans out. It might be just a quick drizzle, but if it's heavy rain I'll go home. Diverting the rainwater using the gutters into the weed barrels is certainly worked out. That one is not quite full, but it wasn't full of nettles anyway, so I've got a lot more nettles to put in, so I've got enough water in there. And this one is just about, you can see it's just about full to the top, so that's good. This one just needs I've got some more nettles that need to go in there, and then once those are in, this will be up to the top as well. I can cover these 2 up and let them sit over winter, and next year when I need them in early summer, I should have some good nettle tea and some weed tea, and I've got to extend that down here somehow to this other one, because I made a bit of a mistake. I should have put that over here, but I already put a load of bricks here, so and I put it there not thinking about how I'm going to fill it, but if I can extend that to this, once I've put a bit more comfrey in there, and that will be comfrey tea, so I'll have plenty of liquid manure, and I might put a bit more into this leaf mould because it's getting a bit dry. Well, the guttering's done its job, so I'll remove that and turn the water collection back into the barrel. But the barrel is full as well now, and as we come to the end of September, I don't think I'll need to water anything much, so I'll have to divert the water into something else because the barrels are full. So it's done its job for this year. Next year there will be more barrels, so and there'll be more plants to water, so it will be used more. Leave that for a bit longer, I think for a day, and it will fill up. If you remember how you did things in the first place. There we go. And that will fill up in the next couple of days to the top, and then I can divert it somewhere else. I can't believe how much this compost has gone down. I mean, that back was all to the top of the white boards, and it's gone down by a good almost half in the last few months. And obviously brambles are trying to grow back in, and weeds have started taking root, so it's obviously good compost. It's making good compost, so I've got a bit more. I've got this lot and this lot still to clear, and all those raspberries were cleared of weeds about 3 months ago, and look at it. So they'll all go back in here, and then I'll leave it for the winter and then start turning it probably sort of January, February. There was some fungal bits in the straw and manure that I put in here, so that's probably doing something. I want to pick some blackberries for my lunch, and got talking to a neighbour, and we were talking about what to plant and planting garlic, and I said I'd got a couple of bulbs from the shop but didn't know which variety, and he gave me all these elephant garlic cloves, so they're ready to go and be planted if the weather cooperates, hopefully this Saturday. Talking of rookie mistakes, this is my seating area, and that's the comfrey and nettle tea barrels which I've just stirred. So there's a stink, and I was about to go and have my lunch, but it stinks a bit here, so I'll have to go and sit somewhere else. Poor evil smelling stuff there, poor nasty. I don't think I want to eat my sandwiches sitting next to this. One of the advantages of bringing sandwiches to the allotment is I can enjoy freshly picked salad, well today tomatoes, and also freshly picked berries for lunch to go with my sandwiches. The tomatoes have come from right over there. I have washed them, so yeah, pleased with that. Right, the framework for the brassica cage is done. It's not pretty, but it was free. Now, just to give it a little bit more strength, I've got this steel cord washing line. It's only a couple of quid, so and it looks like it's quite sturdy, so that will go along the top, and then I can hang the net off it, and it will support the net so it doesn't sag. With the wind and the rain we've had, the tomato plants have dropped a load of tomatoes onto the ground. I mean, I picked a load the other day, so I've got a bag full at home, and it's dropped these. Some alright, but there's quite a few green ones and small ones, so there's just a few that just dropped off. And it's still got quite a lot on the plant, so that one's got a few. These won't be here in October. Most years tomatoes have done by then this time, but still going strong. The beans are still flowering, and I don't think I'll get much of these, but I've got still got little bean pods. The cucumber is producing little ones around. It's small, but it's still going. In the next video I will explain about the free horseradish that I got from a fellow plot holder. So goodbye for now, and come back soon.